So, we are live, and hey, I want to tell you about my brunch with Sir Ken Robinson. Sir Ken Robinson is the educator who had 250 million views on TED Talks. So, he's a delightful speaker and a delightful human being. I had an interesting experience that morning on the way there. I was driving and we were going to pick up some garlic from a farm, and I made a couple wrong turns, and so we ended up not being late but arriving at the brunch at exactly 10:30 when it was supposed to start. So I had decided on the way there that there's something right about this. There's often something right about the way things unfold. So lo and behold, when I arrived, it was at the Empress Hotel in Victoria, British Columbia. I'm Don Olson. And as I arrived, there was this black kind of limousine type vehicle in front of us. And who should get out of it but Ken? And there were a few people around him, and I didn't know exactly where we were going, so I thought, well, I'll just hang around. And I actually got to introduce myself to him and shake his hand and walk slowly over. It was quite a long walk from where we got out of our cars to where the talk was, and so I got to spend some intimate time with him, which was really exciting. Yet I just want to share some of the highlights from that talk. I went there for inspiration. I'm an educator and I love learning how to learn, and I love teaching and mentoring, and that's what I do. So I'm just about to launch my new course, my online course that is a preparation for my personal mentorship program. So I'm always interested in where education is going, and so he's at the forefront of it, and he's on all kinds of boards and panels for the world. And so I wanted to go see what was happening in the world of education, and there's a lot happening in the world of education. It's a hot topic, and it's a lot of to do with our globalization. And maybe at some point, maybe you're somebody that's studying with me now who lives in some other country. I know right now I have mentees. Those are people that are in my personal mentorship program in New York, Idaho, Ohio, Ontario, and I live in British Columbia. So I haven't gone international yet, but I have branched it to North America. So this is part of the reason that education is such a key factor. But nonetheless, we're also looking at the change of paradigms, the shifts of paradigms in education. So I also will be looking at the shifts of paradigm in my online course in healing too. So it all kind of fits in together because it's all happening. So I'll be looking at my mind map that I made when I was at the brunch and giving you the highlights. So one of the things that, what was the purpose of education? And Ken felt the real purpose of education is transformation, and I believe that too. It's not about transmitting facts, it's about transforming the learner. He also talked about a book called The Empty Space by Peter Brook that I'm going to order, but he said the essence of that is reducing everything down to the minimum. He was talking about drama, but Ken made it around teaching. And so what can't you do without in a teaching situation? And it came down to a teacher and a student and some content. All the rest is superfluous. So there is so much information on the internet now. You can get tons and tons of information. The Google God, just everything. But there's no teachers. There's very few teachers. It's like you have all this information, but nobody telling you what to do with it. Nobody telling you how to integrate it. Nobody telling you how to put it together. And then nobody, even then, you take maybe a course with somebody, and maybe you don't even get access to them. So that's one of the things that, especially in the first version of this online course, I've done this course very successfully, but now it's the one that'll lead to mentorship if you so choose. And mentorship will lead to professional herbalism if that's again what you choose. And that can be in any kind of form that you want. So I wanted to go to see Ken to get the inspiration for this particular online course. And in the empty space, so there's the teacher and there's the student, which is you, and then there's the content. So those are the three things, and so that's going to make myself accessible to my students. My mentors get one-on-one time with me every month, where it's just me and the mentee for 1 hour a month, and that's really rare on the internet. And then you also have the opportunity of getting together with other students. The online course will be more self-directed, but there will be weekly check-ins with me as a group for a webinar, and so I'll be meeting every week with you. I'm calling it a pilot because, as I was saying, this is the first time I've done it with the opportunity to transition into the mentoring process. And the mentoring process, say your goal is to be a registered herbalist with the American Herbalist Guild, then that may entail a number of years of practice and a number of years of applying knowledge. Again, that is something that is very key to learning. So there was a moderator named Jeff at the brunch, and he was asking Ken questions, and Ken was then responding to those questions. And so they're trying to get to what is the essence of what needs to be in sort of the curriculum. And that was what I was going for. Like, what do I need to share with you, the learner, in an online course? Like, some people have already done other courses. They've jumped into the mentorship program, but other people are approaching me who haven't got much background in herbs and want to lay down the foundation. So there's some core competencies, was one way of putting it. Ken said disciplines, and myself, I felt very creative at this talk because there was only a handful of us there, and it was really I felt a creative environment of a lot of educators and people interested in education. And I'd been prepping my mind, which I've been doing for a number of months, in wanting to start this course off right, wanting to really, what is the sense of educating? What am I trying to do? So one of the things that I really believe in is the flow paradigm by Csikszentmihalyi. And his premise is, the essence of it is goals, or not goals. Okay, traditional education is goals and outcomes. And when I've taught for colleges and universities, it's been, give us your goals and outcomes. That's fine. We will have some goals and we will definitely get some outcomes. But Csikszentmihalyi's is, what are your challenges and what are your skills? And this is a way to keep what he's calling flow happening. So that's more of a way that I'm looking at designing this particular course. And so what challenges are you facing as a learner, and what skills do you need to achieve those? What challenges are you facing as a herbalist, and what skills do you need to overcome those skills? So the essence of the flow paradigm is that if the challenges are too high and the skills are too low, then we're in a place of anxiety. If the challenges are too low and the skills are too high, we're in a place of boredom. When the challenges and the skills balance each other out or within reach of each other, then we have flow. So the whole idea is to keep challenging yourself to the place where you need to develop your skills, but not to the point where you're causing yourself excessive anxiety, and also to not challenge yourself enough so that you're getting bored. So I'm going to be looking at feedback from my students to keep me on track, that my challenges are sufficient for them. So that's one of the things that I came away with. Instead of goals and outcomes, I'm looking at skills and challenges, the core competencies, and the contents. So what do we need to be an herbalist? We need to know about herbs. So I'm going to start off with herbs. It's what I do in my face-to-face classes. Is I take people on herb walks. I show them the herbs. We talk about the herbs. Herbs are the basic of any system. So whether you're practicing Western medical herbalism or you're practicing Ayurveda, you're practicing traditional Chinese medicine, if you're practicing to be an herbalist, you are using herbs. So the first thing we will do is get to know the herbs. Then there's the disciplines, and the disciplines in herbal medicine is, one of the disciplines is making medicines. Another is harvesting medicine. Another is, if you're going to see clients, how do you do a consultation? That's a discipline. And learning those disciplines, those processes, is another thing that I take away from that. And a bigger level, again, in the terms of transformation, Ken said that education is for us to change the culture. And that to me is what I want to work on. I'm going to be covering Fritjof Capra and the Way of Life, the Web of Life, and also his latest book, Systems Theories. And I'm a systems theories person, and we'll look at different systems and how the biological cell biology was only one system that came out of the Cartesian reductionist model, and we'll be looking at more holistic systems that really deal with wellness, and we'll also be looking at how to do a wellness consultation. So basically what I'm trying to say is we don't want to just turn around and do more medical herbalism. Like we don't want, I don't want to anyways. I want to look at a new way of looking at life, and I like to say live your way into wellness, like live your way through your pathos. Yeah, I've been talking about my time with Ken Robinson at the Empress Hotel in Victoria, British Columbia. There was a brunch put on that about 80 people or so signed up for, and it was a really unique time to be with one of the top educators in the world, somebody that's changing the face of education. So I just want to end with the fact that learning is a collective process, and so to that end, I've developed the Herbal Blossoms Mentorship Collective, and I'm looking at how we can learn together and that I can help facilitate that learning. So I will be as challenged by you, the student, as much as I will challenge you. And together we will grow and also will challenge each other. So this is one of the great things of the internet, and the fact that we can connect with each other over distances, long distances, and we can have people from all parts of, hopefully, the world working together, collaborating to bring our knowledge and our understanding to a deeper level. So that's some of the stuff that I took away from Ken. I'm a great believer in the transmission of knowledge, and so a teacher is not just the information they know, but it's the life that they've lived, the experiences that they've had. So that's why I like to go and see these kind of beings.